Hello, hello. We are live. Welcome to Eat Like a Vegan Chef. Welcome to Cooking with Chef Frank. I'm your host, and I'm also the founder of Eat Like a Vegan Chef. I help people struggling with weight to adopt a whole food, plant-based lifestyle to achieve ultimate health, wellness, and weight loss. That's what I do. I love helping people get on track with a better diet, to a whole food plant-based lifestyle. And that's what I do. And today is my weekly live stream where I cook, usually a 3-course menu. But today I have only 2 because it's quite a bit of work involved and I don't want to overwhelm you with recipes. As usual, I post my recipes on my blog, which is finally live. And I will post them most likely by tonight. Last week's recipes are already there. They were posted on the weekend, I guess. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them right there. And also, if you join this cooking demo, it would be great if you would introduce yourself and where you're from, so I know you're there, and I can say hello to you and we can have a conversation. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Just post them in the comments. And even if you post comments after this live stream is done, it will be posted on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. And I'll be happy to answer any questions then and there. So not that the live stream is done, I'll forget about it. I always have access to it and I answer all my questions to the best of my ability. Okay, before I go ahead, I just wanted to let everyone know, if you're interested in a whole food plant-based diet or lifestyle, it's not really diet, it's a lifestyle. Please follow my whole food plant-based journey, which is a private Facebook group. I invite you to join. We are a group of like-minded people where we all are interested in living healthier. Most of the recipes, or I personally, I cook oil-free. I use a little bit of salt, and I try not to cook with sugar. So if I cook something sweet, I usually use maple syrup or something like that. But I try not to use sugar. Sugar, as you know, a whole food plant-based diet does not include processed food. And by eating in such a way, you are doing the best to avoid getting chronic diseases. That's what we're trying to do. I know for some people it's not fun because we are definitely not eating a lot of foods, which other people do. Like we don't eat animal foods, obviously, no dairy products. So it's definitely takes some time to get used to it. But once you find your kind of foods you like, you're really happy with this. And by the way you feel is just awesome. Absolutely awesome. Okay, so today I will be cooking zucchini pancakes with a tomato basil sour cream. Sorry about that. And I will cook a pizza made with spelt, oil-free, and it's topped with an oil-free and nut-free pesto. And then I'll dress it up with a few tomatoes. And most of the ingredients I use here are actually grown in my own backyard. So I try to cook with plant-based, try to cook with seasonal products, which is very, very important to me. Cooking with seasonal ingredients is the most sustainable way to live, to eat. It's the healthiest way. It's like the farm-to-table concept where you go to the farmer's market and pick your kind of vegetables, because it just doesn't make sense to buy vegetables which were on a truck over 4,000 miles, and it's just it's not sustainable. Vegetables which have been on a truck for over 4,000 miles. We're talking about almost a week. The nutrients of those vegetables are not as good as they were when they came from the field. That's why I recommend going to the farmer's market, buy your vegetables right there, maybe try to get I always try to get some kind of relationship with those people because it's fun to talk to them. As a chef, it's something I'm very interested in. It's these people put their heart and soul in. Most of them are organically grown, and you can tell these people are very passionate when it comes to vegetables. And I want to surround myself with people who are passionate about food and growing food. It's just the way to go. Okay, good. So I will start with pizza today because it takes a little bit longer. I have to bake it, obviously. This pizza, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, this pizza is yeast-free, and I used spelt flour. Spelt flour is a little bit, has less gluten in than whole wheat flour. It works really, really nice in baked goods, even though there's less gluten in there. It just works, in particular for flat applications like flatbreads or pizzas. Even muffins, it works very well. So from that point of view, spelt is also an ancient grain, which is those grains are much, much harder than, for instance, whole wheat, and they are not as susceptible to insects. So most of those grains are grown organically as it is because they don't need much pesticides. So, by the way, we want to avoid pesticides at any cost. That's why we try to get organic vegetables. Okay, let's get going. I'm going to use the stand-up mixer here. Going to add my flour to it. There's 1¼ cup. Again, I will post the recipe later on my blog. Then, where did my spoon go? Hey. Or a teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of oregano. Okay. And of course the salt. About, let's do it here. We need about a 3/4 spoon. Okay. Mix it up a little. I know. By the way, can everyone hear me? If you could put a... Oh boy. My Instagram just... Due to poor connection. That's not nice. I'm sorry about that. Instagram dropped me because of poor connection. Okay, let's see who we have here. Joel, thank you for coming today. Marianne, thank you so much for stopping by. And who do we have here? Adriana, good morning from Southern California. Wonderful. Who do we have? We have Emilio. Nice to see you today. Let's see, we have Justin. Good morning, Justin. And we have, yeah, that's it so far. And I don't know who the others are. They haven't introduced themselves yet. Okay, good. Let's continue the pizza. Again, if you have any questions, post them in the comment box. Okay, so for the pizza, I have a little surprise for you here. I use spinach juice. So basically, I used a little bit of water, and about an ounce of spinach. Put it in the blender, and that gave me this green juice, and that's going to be for my pizza dough. So instead of using water, it helps if I put in the towel. Bear with me, my machine is a little old. It always takes a little bit. To start. Okay. I wasn't sure exactly how much spinach juice I need. Because it's a different combination because of usually water and spinach juice is not the same, obviously not the same consistency. That's why it's light, and that's why it's a little more tricky. Okay. Let this mix a little bit for about a minute or two until the dough has formed almost like a ball. Okay. So using the spinach in here gives the dough a lot more nutrients. That's why spinach is just spinach is extremely healthy. So why not using it? Okay, that's a little bit too wet. And I don't have enough spelt flour, I have to admit that. So I add a little bit of oat flour to it, just to take the moisture out of it. That's the power of life. Almost. Okay. Okay, that's it. With my balls. here. The surface should be a little dusted. I'm going to make it to a dough. I mean to a ball. Isn't it a beautiful color here? So obviously this is a little different than a yeast dough. Since it's not a yeast dough, we can make it in our bowl and go straight to bake it. So we don't have to let it rest much. That's the beauty. And you want to go like straight and then left and right, so that the dough becomes round. Since we don't have too much gluten in here, it's difficult to do the same what our Italian bakers do, swing it in the air, because we don't have too much gluten in here. And this recipe is just enough for one pie. If you want 2 or 3 pies, then you just multiply the recipe. Almost there. Okay. So here's one trick. If you're afraid to take off the dough, you can just roll it and put it on your silicone mat. Okay. So that's basically that's the dough. Very simple. If you want it thinner, make it thinner, that's fine. I like my crust a little thicker, but that's up to you. You can make it as thin as you want for a stick. Okay. Hi, Justin. Good to see you. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Dicey. Hi, Joel. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. And I see my Instagram let me down again. I don't know why. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna end it. Sorry about the guys on Instagram, but it wouldn't let me tape. Okay, good. Any questions so far? Okay, good. So now we're going to have the pizza with a pesto. Up in here, little. Sorry about that. Sorry, we're not home today. Okay. So for the pesto, I'm going. No, this one. Usually, pesto is made with, you all know, basil, Parmesan cheese, pine nuts, olive oil, salt, and So my pesto is a little different in that I use spinach and basil, and I use nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast gives gives the pesto this little nutty, cheesy flavor that we miss otherwise. And of course the garlic. And I use water. In fact, I use the same, have a little bit of the spinach water left, and then I use just regular water. Okay, so I need a few basil leaves. Okay. Spinach. Yeast. Okay. Water. Now I can always adjust. You can actually, the nuts and the cheese usually make it more creamier. In this case, if you would like to add white beans, that would make it much, much creamier. And in this case, I don't have white beans. So we just use it as is. Yeah, good, nice punch and flavor of the garlic, the nutritional yeast I taste, which is gives it a great flavor. You know, like this cheesy, nutty flavor. Really cool. Okay. I'm going to add this onto the dough. Here. Okay. And now I'm going to add some fresh tomatoes. I wanted to show you what I picked from my yard. Isn't that cool? Lots of potato, lots of tomatoes. So we'll choose a beauty. This looks nice. You know, they ripe best outside, not in the fridge. And if you have some green ones, you actually want to take them out and put them in a dark space, maybe cover them with a napkin, because they will ripen too. Okay. Shit. Usually I take out the trunk, so I can use every slice of the tomato. You can sometimes they have these green spots in here. You can tell they're not ripe yet properly, but so no, we just put them on top. one over here. Then I had some peppers. Ah, the pepper here. Here it is. Just put them in between here. You can put on the pizza whatever you like. Mushrooms, peppers, doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to add just a little bit more oregano and some black pepper. Okay, show it to you. Very simple. I'm going to put it in for about 18 to 20 minutes. Let's put it in for 18. See what's going to happen. Okay. Okay, so next. Next will be our zucchini cakes. And I actually got a zucchini from a friend of my son who gave him some homegrown zucchinis. I want to show you one I had left. Isn't that absolutely amazing? So I already used the smaller one and I grated it. That's exactly 2 cups. So what I did was I grated zucchini, added a little bit of salt to it, put it on the side so that the juice could drain a little bit. Because when you do cakes, you don't want too much juice in it. Otherwise, you have to add too much, flour into it. In this case, I use oat flour and I use flax meal. Okay. I'm going to add these in here. I have the same with potatoes. I just had them in water so they don't turn brown. I squeeze the water out of it. I put it in here. I just want to have a little crunch to it. That's why I add potatoes to it. You don't have to add potatoes. You can just use zucchini. That's fine. And then and now I have onions, which is this is 1 onion. I grated it and I squeezed it out, squeezed the water out, and that's about 1/4 cup. But again, I will post the recipe on my blog as well. So I'm going to add this. So all the ingredients have been properly squeezed, so the juice is out. I'm usually not a fan of squeezing the juice out of it because that means we're getting rid of all the vitamins. You could leave it in, you could leave the juice in, you just have to add more oat flour to it. Okay, cool. We have this. Then I'm going to add the oat flour. I'm not sure how much I need because this is actually the first time that I make this recipe with oat flour. That's why we do it live. And once I figure out if the recipe works, I will post it. Okay. Mix it up a little bit. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of flax meal to it. Mix it all up. You want to make sure that the consistency is sticky. It's almost there, so we have to add a little bit more flour. I'm going to add just a half a teaspoon of baking powder. This makes it what helps make the zucchini pancakes a little bit more fluffier. Remember, we don't have eggs in here to bind the zucchini cakes. Eggs are usually part of any zucchini cakes, potato latkes, potato pancakes. So that's why we put the flax seeds in here. And you'll see it's already getting sticky. Which adds a little bit more flour to it. Okay, that seems to be good. Perfect. And then you can add salt to it, pepper. Because I had salt added early on for the zucchini, I'm not going to add any more. I'm going to add a little black pepper to it. And now we're going to bake them. We can bake them in the oven, or we can saute them in the pan. As usual, pizza's coming. As usual, I cook without oil, and this pan turned out to be the best pan to saute pancakes and any kind of these vegetables because they don't stick. That's the beauty. My wife tried to cook eggs in here and it didn't work, but these things work perfectly. Okay. So we want to make a round cake or whatever shape you like. Okay, just like this. Make another one. Wait until the pan is hot. The thicker the pancakes, the longer they're baking. So if you want them quick, just make them as thin as possible. And you can tell already they look like they're going to stick together. Because the last thing we want is that they fall apart in the pan. For me, if the thicker they are, the better the flavor on it. So I really enjoy this because you have the crunchiness of the potatoes in there. This is a big one. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Tomatoes look beautiful. Thank you. Hi, Mary. Thanks for coming by. Are the flax seeds pre-soaked? No, I didn't. You can do that, but because there's so much liquid in here, they're going to absorb it, and it should work without. And Himalayan salt, absolutely, yes. I actually use it too. Same thing. This is actually the only salt I use, Himalayan salt. It's to me, it's the best flavor, and it's the most clean salt, I would say. Even sea salt nowadays is contaminated with plastics, so you want to. I try to make sure I buy the cleanest salt, and I don't use too much anyway. But when we use it, we want to make sure that it's the best salt. Forget about table salt. Table salt is it shouldn't be sold anymore. It's such unhealthy. And not that salt is healthy, but the taste of table salt is just not right. And it's almost hot. You can also, if you have a ring, you can put the ring around here and just make them really nice and round. Good. So right now the pan is on full power, high heat, and I'm going to turn it down once my pancakes are, turning golden brown. Then I'm going to turn it to medium, between medium and high heat. Okay. We're getting there. Getting there. I find this is a perfect meal for breakfast. I love zucchini pancakes. My wife loves them too for breakfast. You can top them with any vegetables like sauteed mushrooms, onions, garlic, spinach, or peppers. It tastes beautiful. In this case, I'm going to make a tomato basil sour cream and top those cakes. Okay. See how easy they come off? Can you see? So it's really perfect to saute these. Oil free, and they turn golden brown. What else you want? And then once they're golden brown, I put them on usually on a silicone pan, but I don't have one. I want to use. So I'm going to put it in a glass pan, a Pancakes pan, and I'm going to finish them in the oven. Okay, the next thing is Sourcream. I apologize, I'm cleaning my little blender here. course, my lemon knife is gone. Plate. Okay, I'm going to turn on the heat now because we see it starting to go on. Okay. Now I'm going to put them in the glass pan, in the Pancakes pan. Add these ones. That's a big one. Okay. Okay. Now getting my again, the grindings are here. They have taken my blade. As usual, muted. I mentioned that before, whenever we're looking for something, we can't find it, and the gremlins came. Okay. So now for the sour cream, I'm going to use a cup of soaked cashews. You can also boil them for 15 minutes, but if you have a really, really high-powered blender, like a Vitamix, you don't need to soak them. They're going to be chopped really, really fine, but this is not a powerful blender, unfortunately, so I have to soak it. Okay. These, I'm going to add my bay leaves. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of vinegar, the apple cider vinegar, excuse me. And then I have some pureed tomatoes. So that's why we have a tomato basil sour cream. So it's going to be interesting. And of course, we have our nutritional yeast. 1 teaspoon here. We can add these are ready. Okay, so now I'm going to add these in the oven for about 10 minutes. And my pizza is ready. This is my little pizza. Okay. Good. I'll let it sit for a few minutes. And I like my little sour cream, obviously a little bit more liquid. you have this tangy flavor of sour cream. Flavor, of course, sour as well. You have this cheesy flavor because of the nutritional yeast in here. Very interesting, and it's going to be really, really nice with the zucchini pancakes. Just a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to cut just a few green scallions. Stimmt, these are organic scallions. And I'll show you a little trick what you can do with these. It's not the best anymore. So with these ones here, if you put these in the ground, in soil, they're going to grow. And this is a gift of always giving. So basically, a gift of giving, how does it, something like that. So you put them in the ground up to here, you water them, and they come right back. And you cut them, and they come right back. I had my scallions for years now, and I just bought a few more. I put them in the ground. It's just fantastic. And they're organic, so you don't have to worry. It's the best quality. So this is perfect. Here. Let's see. Sorry, you're not home. Okay. What was the ingredients you used for the pizza? I used spelt flour. I used baking powder. It's a oil-free, yeast-free pizza, so you can make it on the go. It's really quick. There's no rising of the crust. Proofing. Salt and pepper. Salt. What else did I say? Spinach juice. So it's something different, a different twist to it. Okay, so let me serve the zucchini pancakes. And then I will slice the pizza. I really should bake them a little longer, but because everyone doesn't have as much time. So I'm going to serve them anyway. Can you actually see? No, you cannot see. Good. Just for the fun of it, we put 3 on top. And we're going to put a dollop of Sourcream. A few more scallions. Okay. So that's your zucchini pancakes. Very simple, very easy, very healthy, made with whole foods. Okay, so that's these zucchini pancakes. And now I'm going to cut the pizza. There's my knife. I'm going to cut it here. I don't want to touch the silicone. And the best thing is you could actually use the same sour cream. If you would like to add a little bit of chipotle to it, then you have sort of like a chipotle aioli, but obviously that's a little lighter, but you could use it. And let's put it on the side here. And we'll add a few crushed red pepper on here, just to give it a little kick. So that's your pizza. Very simple. It's obviously, it's not the same as it is with yeast, but this is a quick alternative. So if you're in a rush and you would like to have a pizza, that's an option. Okay. What was the ingredients for the pizza? Yeah. So yeah, the pizza crust is just, as I said, spelt flour, baking powder, salt, put some oregano in, and spinach water. That's it. Spinach water, I meant I used a little bit of water and an ounce of spinach, just pureed it in a bullet here, and then added to my pizza. That's it. That's all I did. And you can do the same with a yeast pizza. Probably comes out even better. Okay, so that's for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, please feel free, mention them here. And if you like this live stream, it would be great if you could give me a thumbs up. I guess that's it. And I hope you will join me next week again. If you have any questions, again, always, I'm always there to help. And again, my website is live now, so you can take a look. My blog is live. I will post there regularly every week. Also, my live streams are there. So I connect all the recipes to the live stream. So if you have any questions, you can always look it up there. And then our private community is there for everyone who wants to join. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.